Welcome to Conversations Sin Miedo, a podcast where we break the stigma around mental health in the Hispanic community. I'm Sonia, and this is a safe space for open, honest conversations. Whether you're first generation, navigating cultural challenges, or just looking for a place to feel heard, we're here to talk about it all sin miedo y con corazón. Join me as we share stories, answer your questions, and create a community where vulnerability is celebrated. Let's start the conversation. You wouldn't believe, but I'm trying to record video and it's very difficult. But you know what? I'm like, this isn't about me. This is bigger than me. This is fine. First world problems. My camera isn't connecting. This isn't working. I think I have I don't know. I have a lot. I miss you all. It got me again. I was sick, and you know when I'm sick, like when am I not sick? But anyways, I was sick, and I still feel no, I'm still sick. Yeah, I hope I said that, and I still have a cough. So if I'm coughing, I'm like, you know what? Who cares? I'll just cough on camera, even though I think it's disgusting to hear your voice raspy, whatever. But I'm so excited to be here again. I missed you all. If you're watching this, then the audio and video work, so hopefully. So today is episode 5. JK. It's episode 10. Yay. It's episode 10. So that means I wanted to do like season 1, season 2. So really we're at season 1 finale. This is the finale. This is the end of season 1. And I'm so excited. Thinking about my first episode to now. I have this cute little background. I hope you can see it. My lights I got. I don't want to say Target, but I got them at Target. Sorry, I'm not supposed to. You know what? When I go, I don't spend a lot of money as usual because, we're trying not to go to Target. So, anyways, yeah. So today, episode 10, Navigating Grief and Loss, a conversation we need to have. This has really hit home to me. Like a lot of people have, a lot of close friends and just a lot of people I know in my life that are experiencing something extremely difficult, like losing a loved one or losing even a family pet that they've had for like 15 plus years. So I was just like, wow, I need to do this and I need to hurry up and I need to get it out. So grief is a universal experience. So, many of us struggle how to navigate it though, especially in the Hispanic Latino culture where resilience is often prioritized over emotional expression. So in this episode, we'll explore how grief affects mental health, the unique ways our community processes loss, and just healthy ways to cope with it and support others. So again, grief and loss, we can grieve, obviously someone, the loved one passing away, a pet passing away, like losing someone, I don't know, in an accident or things like that. But also, I want to talk about loss, and if it's not necessarily someone passing away, it's more of like grieving a lost relationship or friendship or something similar to that, or losing something you wanted, or someone that you wish was better, but so yeah, we all experience it in different ways and we don't talk about it openly. And grief can feel isolating, but it doesn't have to be something we carry alone. So I feel like when I think of grief, I'm like, okay, someone who passed away. I think the first funeral I went to, if I remember, was like my cousin's uncle's side of his family, and he had like health issues, so we went to his funeral, and like his casket was open. I'm like, oh my god, there's a dead body right there. Like he was gray. It was really, I didn't know him, but it was still scary. And I remember my mom, I was just like, okay, I think I was like 8, no, I think 9 or 10. And I was like, what do I do? What, like, what do I say? And she's like, just say sorry for your loss. And I'm like, okay, sorry for your loss. I was like, is that enough? Is that, like, just even at that age, I remember going and like, oh, it's just like his mom was crying. I mean, he was older, I don't know, in his 50s maybe. But just hearing someone's pain and like grief, and it was pretty heavy. And then, yeah, I've been to, sadly more funerals, and I still think about that where like, just say sorry for your loss, and that could be something. I mean, yeah, there's some right or wrong things to say, but I think it's just being genuine and like, especially hard when we're not taught how to express ourselves, our emotions, and things like that. So, yeah, just even finding the right words or what to say can be really hard. So that's why we're having this conversation, because it matters, whatever you lose, or if it's a loved one, whatever grief you're dealing with, because there is something of unprocessed grief, grief that we don't let ourselves feel, let ourselves go through, and that can be, that unprocessed grief can impact our mental health, our relationships, and just our well-being. So, when we feel grief, of course, sadness, also anger, guilt, numbness, even kind of confused, let me go to Google, there are the stages of grief too. Oh, I think there's 7, but I could be wrong. Hold on, stages of grief. Whoever got me sick, count your days, because I am gonna fight you. Okay, 7 stages of grief. So, shock and denial. So, like, this can't happen, no, they're alive, whatever. 2, pain and guilt. Like, feeling guilty about it, sometimes we're like, it's not, if we did something different, this wouldn't have happened. And then the 3rd stage, anger and bargaining. So we're pissed off, we're mad, like, there's, I don't know, I've heard people say like, well, there's bad people in this world that should die and not my loved one, and like just bargaining sort of that way. And then depression, that's one of the stages, number 4. Number 5 is the upward turn. So it's kind of like a circle. So kind of going up, like, okay, like kind of getting out depression. And then 6, reconstruction and working through it. So like whatever that looks like, maybe therapy, maybe talking with someone. And then the last one is acceptance and hope. So there's no right or wrong way to process grief, but this is just 7 stages of grief. And I don't know if this is like I really just Googled it. I should have really looked into it. I mean, there's a lot of them that are similar, but it is, I think this does happen to a lot of people. And again, when we don't process it, we could be stuck in those cycles. So yeah, it's not necessarily like I'm sad. People can be angry or, or don't feel anything. They're just like numb to it, really. So, there can be physical effects of grief, like feeling tired, headaches, stomach issues, like you can't sleep or eat. So, it's important to, like, literally, I've said a million times that mental health is physical health. And, grief isn't just emotional. It could take, a toll on your body, and you might notice you feel like more tired or like something out of the ordinary. So it is, um, yeah, like I said, it is something that can show up differently. Like, maybe you're not crying all the time like the other person, but you're, um, yeah, like it comes out in different ways. So traditionally, we have, um, what is it? I'm gonna say this wrong, but it's like a prayer thing. Like I remember my mom, we did like rosar, like pray on the rosary thing, and like, oh my god, this is so bad. But that meme where the ants are like, like they're so fast because they're praying so fast. But I remember that. I don't know if that's traditional, but I think most people do that. Um, and then obviously Dia de los Muertos, family gathering, things like that we do culturally, like some sort of rituals. So yeah, those traditions, can be great and comforting too, but also like I feel like there's expectations of like how you should grieve, or be strong, like don't cry for, like, be strong for your mom, or be strong for your younger siblings, being strong for, like, I don't know, the person that is most impacted by the grief. So I'm talking about like if someone, like let's say someone's parent passed away, and like um that person has to be strong for everyone else. Like it doesn't make sense talking about it, like speaking, saying it out loud. But again, it's like goes back to that, well, if you show emotion, if you cry, you're weak, you won't, you're not strong, and that way of thinking we've had for a long time. So yeah, like it's I don't know, like I understand to a point, like, sometimes you gotta, you know, be strong, but it's okay to not be strong all the time either. And it's important to understand that, because, it can be like well intended, but it can make people feel like they can't fully express their grief. And so it just, you're stuck in those stages, or whatever that looks like. Um, and again, not everyone, but most of the older generation see it as um, like, you can't process this grief out loud, don't go to therapy, don't talk about it, like keep it inside. And, you know, the younger generation might be more open about it and seek support and seek therapy, so there's that difference too. But the next thing I want to talk about is, again, those healthy and unhealthy coping mechanisms, or like, so for example, or like a healthy coping strategy. So again, reminding yourself there's no right way to grieve. It's whatever it looks like for you to process that and um, work through it. That's what um, really is the most important. Um, and it is really hard, even just talking about it. But that's something important, like um, sharing memories with family, or joining a support group. Um, some people, it's hard to talk about your emotions, so like writing it down is something you could try. Just really anything that works for you. Journaling, if you want to write it down, even on your notes on your phone, just jot a few things down, what comes to your head, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. So, another thing, extremely probably number one, is self-care. Um, just resting, sleeping, mindfulness. So, you remember kind of like, being present right now can help process those emotions and like working on like your breathing techniques, anything to help you sort of just relax and try to, just working on that mindfulness. It's okay to take time off. Like, I don't, like the world right now, or whatever, the economy, or whatever it's called we're in right now, like, how much time you get off work is not enough. And a few people I know, they only had 3 days to get off work. I don't know if it's paid or unpaid. I really don't know. I didn't ask how it works, but it really, I feel, is enough. My personal opinion, it's not, I mean, there's no right time, but 3 days, like, I can't do math. What is that? 48 hours? Oh God, no. And I don't have my phone because I dropped my phone in the toilet. Whatever, 24 times 3. God, I'm so sorry. But anyways, 3 days, that's not enough. So, yeah, just, that's another thing. So I guess whatever that self-care looks like for you, even showering or brushing your teeth or just getting through the day. And again, plugging it in, therapy can be very helpful too. It's a powerful tool, even if other people don't encourage it. I mean, I guess this will be an extremely important time to try it. Unhealthy coping strategies, so like, again, not talking about it, pushing that grief away, self-isolating, so like physically withdrawing from people you love, your loved ones, your family, your friends, unhealthy habits, so, alcohol, food, or work as a distraction from processing loss. So, again, more in that excessive, like, if you want to, I don't know, I went to a funeral where it was more like a celebration of life, and we took shots, and that was very, I don't know, I really liked it, like, I don't, like, it was his favorite tequila bottle or something, so I thought that was really beautiful to, celebrate his life. That's something they wanted to do, but not necessarily using that as a way to, I'm gonna drink the pain away. It's like, it doesn't work, and it's, again, an unhealthy way to process it. So, sometimes we try to distract ourselves, and that's okay, but also reminding ourselves, like, we don't have to overwork ourselves or avoid people to face that grief. And yeah, again, this is an extremely difficult time, but pushing it away doesn't make it go away. So trying to find that balance, but also just in your personal healing too, whatever that looks like, again, whatever you need to do. And I mean, like I said, those like family gatherings, they might feel like overwhelming, or like having a lot of company or a lot of people around. Just trying to find, like, it's okay to step away and just finding what, like, okay, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Okay, don't do it. It's not about, it's okay to prioritize yourself and work on that self-care. So when you are supporting other people through their grief, it's, how to show up for them, like, physically, being there for them, like, showing up for them rather than like giving them advice. So really, we sometimes, people just need someone to listen to them. And so instead of saying, they're in a better place, you could try, I'm here for you. You know, I'm here for you, whatever you need. I'm here for you. Literally, just I'm here for you. Um, you know, grief isn't about fixing. It's just about being present. So I know it's, again, it looks different for everyone, but um, instead of like, so again, what not to say, like you need to move on, or at least they lived a long life. Instead, try to acknowledge their pain with like, I can't imagine what you're going through, but I am here. You know, again, I'm here for you, whatever that looks like. And you know, even trying to find a support group or someone, you know, like a professional support. So again, I think I saw this girl's TikTok. Oh, and again, I dropped my phone in the toilet, so I don't have it. But she had a miscarriage, and I think I talked about this in 2 episodes ago with Ricky, my guest star. But she had a miscarriage, and her and her husband were talking to a friend, and they're like, you know, it's not your fault. At least you weren't far along. Don't blame yourself. You know, it was, again, it's like you don't have to give advice. And I don't think anyone really asked for your damn advice either. So, remembering that too, of like, just because you know, didn't experience, if it's not your parent or loved one that passed away, and you're like, it's your friend's parent that passed away, they need you to be their friend, you know, and they don't need someone giving them advice on how to deal with it. I mean, if they ask, okay, maybe try to say, well, I don't know, like, this worked for me, or like try to figure out what works for them. So I'm keeping this episode short because I don't want to ramble on, and again, my camera and technical difficulties, I only have like 30 minutes. So again, so some key points. Grief is a process. It's not a straight line. It's like up and down. It's like a roller coaster, kind of like you pause, keep going type thing. You know, cultural traditions can help, but they could also create some sort of good and bad pressure. So really finding out what works for you. Healthy coping strategies are important for long-term healing. So again, you know, maybe getting super blacked out drunk that one day, in the moment you feel like, I just want to distract myself, but it's not going to help you. And that feels like in the moment it could, but again, that's like an unhealthy strategy, really, you know. So there's that. Resources and like other supports. So again, counseling. I know there's books on grief, so I wrote one down. The grief. Sorry, my audio was being weird. Oh, you're lying. You're lying. Hold on. What just happened? Okay, how do I do control undo? Wow, my recording just... Well, I hope my camera got my recording, because this didn't. How to undo. If you want to start a podcast, don't, because it's so hard. Control Z. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna just keep playing. So like I said, yeah, there's a book. It's called The Grief Recovery Handbook. There's another one, It's Okay That You're Not Okay. I'm gonna try to really be more engage, but I know there's like these other podcasts I could share on my Facebook and maybe put under the comments when I share this episode, and go through that. So hopefully I can figure out, if you're a tech person, please, please bless your heart and help me. But anyways, I'm so happy to be back. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you listening. Remember, if you're grieving, you're not alone. There's a lot of people, we all struggle differently, but that doesn't mean you have to struggle alone. And there's people out there that will listen to you and will, give you the space you need. And, it takes time. It's not going to, and maybe a month, a year, 2 years, whatever. And it's okay to seek support. So again, I appreciate you all. I, will definitely share out some more, resources and things like that. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. You wouldn't believe this, but this is my 1700th time doing this. If this doesn't work, I'm quitting.